ladies and gentlemen, turning 70 is not the end of anything. It's the start of a new, wiser, freer, and often more fulfilling chapter of life. At this stage, many believe the best days are behind them. But that's not true. Because if you're 70 and still doing these 4 powerful things, then you're not just aging, you're thriving. You're truly winning at life. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Number 1. Staying curious and open to learning. Staying curious and open to learning at the age of 70 is one of the most powerful indicators that life is still vibrant, rich, and full of possibility. Curiosity is not limited by age. In fact, it often grows deeper with time. A person who continues to ask questions, seek new knowledge, and explore unfamiliar ideas in their 70s is someone who refuses to let their spirit go stale. Life may slow down physically, but mentally and emotionally, it can remain endlessly exciting if the mind remains open. At this stage in life, curiosity takes on a more profound meaning. It's no longer about rushing to achieve something or trying to prove oneself. Instead, it's about personal enrichment, about finding joy in the process of discovery, and about appreciating the beauty of the unknown. Whether it's picking up a new book, learning a new skill, exploring different cultures, or diving into a subject you never had time for before, the act of learning becomes a form of self-care and empowerment. The brain remains active, alert, and engaged, keeping boredom and stagnation at bay. Being open to learning doesn't always mean formal education. It can be as simple as listening with genuine interest to someone younger than you. It can be trying out a new recipe, learning how to use a smartphone app, watching documentaries, or reading articles that challenge your worldview. It's in these small, everyday acts of curiosity that a person remains mentally youthful. You might surprise yourself by discovering interests and passions that were buried under years of responsibility and routine. This kind of mental awakening brings a new layer of meaning to your days. One of the most remarkable aspects of learning at 70 is that it often carries less ego. There's no pressure to compete, no fear of being judged in a classroom, no concern for grades or professional advancement. It's learning for the pure sake of learning, because it brings you joy, because it stimulates your mind, and because it helps you grow. This freedom from performance allows for a deeper and more personal connection to knowledge. You learn because you want to, not because you have to. Being open to learning also fosters humility, which is a beautiful trait at any age. It's a quiet acknowledgement that no matter how much you've lived or seen, there is always more to understand. The world changes constantly. Technology evolves, cultures shift, and new ideas emerge every day. Those who remain curious are the ones who adapt with grace. They do not become rigid or resistant to change. Instead, they embrace the new with wonder, treating life like the ever-evolving adventure it truly is. At 70, staying curious also helps keep loneliness at a distance. People who engage in learning often find themselves part of new communities, whether it's through classes, book clubs, online groups, or local gatherings. The desire to learn brings people together, offering opportunities to make new friends and build connections over shared interests. It's a reminder that growth doesn't stop, and that it's never too late to find your tribe or rediscover your passions. More importantly, curiosity fuels resilience. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning and something to look forward to. Even if the body slows down, the mind can still travel the world. You can explore history, science, art, music, philosophy, and literature, all from the comfort of your chair or through conversations with others. This mental engagement brings not only joy but a sense of purpose. It tells you, and the world, that you are still in the game, that you are still evolving, still contributing, and still deeply alive. A choosing to stay curious and open to learning is a silent yet powerful act of defiance against the idea that aging means decline. It's a declaration that life is far from over, but that the journey of growth never truly ends, and that your mind is still a garden capable of blooming with fresh thoughts and new dreams. At 70, to remain curious is to remain youthful in the most meaningful way. By keeping your spirit awake, your heart open, and your mind forever reaching for more. Number 2. Taking care of your body and mind. Taking care of your body and mind at 70 is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring the life you've lived and making the most of the life that still lies ahead. At this age, you may have faced health challenges, loss, or limitations, but the act of caring for yourself is a quiet, powerful reminder that you still matter. It's a way of saying, I am still here, and I choose to show up for myself every day. Caring for your body doesn't mean pushing it beyond its limits. It means respecting it, listening to its needs, and doing what you can to keep it moving and functioning in the best way possible. Simple habits like walking daily, stretching in the morning, or engaging in light exercise are more than routines. They are declarations of life. These movements improve circulation, balance, and strength, but more importantly, they offer confidence. Every step you take says you are not giving into the idea that aging must equal decline. Instead, you're choosing action over apathy. Nutrition is another form of self-respect. Fueling your body with wholesome food, drinking enough water, and moderating indulgences is not about restriction. It's about nourishment. Eating well can lift your energy, sharpen your focus, and even improve your mood. At 70, your digestive system may be more sensitive, your metabolism slower, and your cravings different. But that doesn't mean you stop caring. You adjust. You learn what works for your body now, and you give it what it needs to thrive. Sleep, too, becomes essential. It's not uncommon for older adults to struggle with insomnia or restless nights, but that makes the effort to build a healthy sleep routine even more valuable. Creating a peaceful evening ritual, turning off distractions, and allowing your body the rest it needs are all part of taking care of yourself. A well-rested body heals better, thinks clearer, and simply feels more at peace. At this age, rest is not laziness. It's medicine. But caring for your mind is just as vital. Mental well-being shapes how you experience every moment. Taking care of your mind means protecting it from constant worry, fear, or negative thinking. It means staying mentally active by engaging with hobbies, reading, solving puzzles, having meaningful conversations, or even meditating. Keeping your brain engaged can delay cognitive decline, but more than that, it enriches your daily experience. It helps you savor life with curiosity and presence, rather than drifting through it passively. Your emotional health is deeply tied to how you view yourself and your life. Practicing self-compassion is crucial. That means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, being gentle with yourself on difficult days, and recognizing that every wrinkle and scar is a sign of a life lived, not a flaw to hide. When you look in the mirror and speak kindly to yourself, when you rest without guilt, when you allow yourself joy without justification, you are healing and strengthening your inner world. Staying socially connected also supports mental and emotional health. Isolation can be dangerous at any age, but especially in older years. Making the effort to stay in touch with family, reach out to friends, or join local groups can reduce loneliness and bring laughter back into your life. Even a brief conversation can lighten your mood and remind you that you are part of a bigger world. Taking care of your body and mind is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about doing the best you can with what you have every day. Some days will be better than others. Some mornings your body may ache more than usual. Some evenings, your mind may feel clouded or heavy. But every small effort counts. Every walk, every healthy meal, every deep breath, every kind thought, and every positive connection adds up to a life that still values health, dignity, and joy. At 70, you are not obligated to fade away or step back from caring. Instead, you are invited to step into this chapter with grace and strength. Taking care of your body and mind is not only about extending life. It's about improving the quality of the life you're living right now. It's a powerful way to say, I still love this life, and I'm going to treat myself like I'm worth it. Because you are. Number 3, connecting with others. Connecting with others at the age of 70 is one of the most life-affirming choices a person can make. It may seem that as time goes on, relationships naturally fall away. People move, loved ones pass, and social circles shrink. But the human need for connection doesn't fade with age. In fact, it becomes even more essential. Being surrounded by people who care, who listen, and who simply share space with you brings meaning, comfort, and emotional strength that no amount of wealth or achievement can replace. Human beings are wired for connection. From the moment we're born, relationships shape our lives. And even in later years, staying socially engaged supports emotional well-being, reduces loneliness, and even improves physical health. Studies show that those with strong social ties tend to live longer, recover faster from illness, and experience less cognitive decline. But beyond the science, there's something deeply beautiful about simply being seen, heard, and valued by others. At 70, connecting with others can take on new forms. It might mean weekly phone calls with your children or video chats with grandchildren. It could be sharing stories with an old friend over tea, attending a local gathering, joining a senior group, or even chatting with neighbors during a walk. These small, simple moments of interaction are powerful. They remind you that you still belong. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are still a part of life's great circle. Reaching out to others can sometimes feel intimidating, especially if you've experienced loss or if you're naturally more reserved. But taking that first step, sending a message, making a call, or showing up for a small event, can open doors to new friendships and rekindle old ones. Often, others are just as eager for connection and are waiting for someone to make the first move. At this stage, relationships can be deeper and more genuine, because they're built not on status or expectation, but on shared understanding and kindness. Connection isn't just about being surrounded by people. It's about being emotionally present with them. That means listening with care, speaking honestly, and letting your walls down when it feels safe to do so. It's about sharing your stories, your laughter, your memories, and sometimes even your pain. These honest exchanges are what bring people closer. They allow for real bonds, the kind that make you feel supported and loved. Spending time with younger generations is another enriching form of connection. Your life experience holds wisdom, and sharing that with your children, grandchildren, or even young neighbors can bridge generational gaps. You don't have to lecture or advise. Just being available, telling your stories, and showing your genuine self can have a lasting impact on those around you. At the same time, listening to the perspectives of younger people keeps your mind open and your heart fresh. It reminds you that every age has something to offer, and connection doesn't always require words. Sitting in silence with someone who understands you can be just as powerful. A smile, a touch, a shared moment of laughter. These small acts speak volumes. Even having a pet can offer a form of emotional connection that soothes the heart and lifts the spirit. Companionship, in any form, brings life to our days. There's also immense value in offering support to others. Helping someone in need, volunteering, or simply being available for a friend strengthens your own sense of purpose. When you give your time, attention, and kindness, you not only help others, you reinforce your own sense of meaning and self-worth. Connection is a two-way street, and sometimes the most healing thing you can do for yourself is to be there for someone else. Ultimately, connection is what gives life depth. At 70, your relationships may look different than they once did, but they can be more intentional, more meaningful, and more fulfilling than ever before. It's not about how many people are in your life. It's about how deeply you connect with the ones who are. And if you're still reaching out, still opening your heart, and still making space for others in your life, then you are not just aging. You're truly living. Number 4, having a sense of purpose. Having a sense of purpose at the age of 70 is one of the most vital ingredients to living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Purpose isn't reserved for the young or for those building careers, raising families, or chasing big dreams. Purpose is something that belongs to every stage of life, and perhaps even more so in the later years, when time becomes more precious and priorities become clearer. At this age, purpose may shift in form, but its power remains the same. It gives each day a reason, each action a direction, and each moment a sense of value. When you wake up in the morning with something to look forward to, no matter how small, it changes the way you move through your day. It might be tending to a garden, writing a journal, volunteering at a community center, mentoring someone younger, caring for a pet, or simply calling a friend who needs support. These things may seem simple on the surface, but they carry weight. They tell you that you still matter, that your actions still have meaning, and that your presence still makes a difference in the world. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or life-changing. It doesn't require public recognition or praise. Sometimes it's found in the quiet routines, in showing up consistently for something or someone. The act of preparing breakfast for your spouse each morning, knitting a sweater for a grandchild, praying for others, or taking time to teach a child how to read. These are not small things. They are meaningful acts that connect you to others and give your life emotional depth. They remind you that your story is not over. In fact, it's still unfolding in beautiful and significant ways. At 70, many people face transitions: retirement, loss of a spouse or friends, changes in health, or moving to a new home. These changes can be disorienting, and leave you feeling unsure of your place in the world. But finding or rediscovering a sense of purpose during this time can help ground you. It brings focus and strength during uncertainty. It becomes the anchor that holds you steady while the tides of life shift around you. When you have a purpose, you don't just exist. You engage, you contribute, and you feel alive. Sometimes purpose comes from within. It can be a personal mission to stay healthy, to grow spiritually, to learn something new, or to express your creativity. Picking up a paintbrush, writing poetry, playing music, or exploring photography are all ways of tapping into your inner world and giving it expression. These activities allow you to create something lasting, something that speaks of your journey, your imagination, and your soul. That in itself is a powerful source of purpose. Other times, purpose is found through relationships. But being a source of wisdom, comfort, or inspiration to your family and friends can be deeply fulfilling. You have decades of experience. Lessons learned through joy, pain, trial, and triumph. Sharing those insights with others, especially younger generations, creates a legacy that lives on beyond you. You don't have to preach or teach in formal ways. Just your presence, your stories, your calm understanding can light the way for someone else. And knowing that you've made even a small difference in someone's life can fill your heart with peace and pride. Faith, spirituality, and service to others can also give life great meaning. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, helping a neighbor, or contributing to a cause you believe in, you can find immense strength in the act of giving. Purpose expands when it's directed outward, when your life touches others in ways that ripple beyond what you see. In those moments, you become part of something greater than yourself. A community, a belief, a movement of kindness and care. Having a sense of purpose is not about being busy every hour. It's about knowing, deep down, that your life still has value. That what you do, what you say, and who you are continues to matter. It fuels your spirit, strengthens your resilience, and brings joy even in the ordinary. If at 70 you still wake up with a reason to try, to love, to give, to grow, then you are not just aging. You are truly living with meaning, intention, and grace. And that, above all else, is a beautiful way to move through the years ahead. So, if you are 70 and still learning, still caring for yourself, still connecting, and still living with purpose, then yes, you are truly winning at life. Because success isn't defined by money, fame, or physical strength. It's defined by how deeply you live, how kindly you love, and how brightly you shine. No matter what number is on your birthday cake. Keep going. You're not just aging, you're inspiring. God bless you.